Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Yeah, so Bitcoin's getting into some areas of interest here, and we have some other assets that, really a lot of trading is waiting until price gets to a certain area, right? A certain area in price that becomes tradable or it becomes interesting, right? Something happens. We are in one of those moments right now with a handful of different assets. The pound versus the dollar, BTC versus the dollar, DXY is an interesting place. We can kind of see everything sort of, coming to fruition here the week of the FOMC. If we go ahead and pull this up here, you could see it'll be, this upcoming Wednesday afternoon, right? And I will, as per usual, host a watch party so that we can all watch it and kind of see what price does together. It's pretty exciting, the amount of volatility that we see the FOMC. So we will go ahead and dive into our analysis here. We always like to take a look at some of our higher time frame charts before we, dive into any deeper analysis. So this area that we are at on price right now. So to end the week last week, I basically said, look, I thought that maybe we would get this sweep, as you can see, right? Like that green area here, I thought we would get this deviation to the range. Well, we didn't. Instead, price decided to postpone the liquidity below this low, create another low here. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that works out well on Binance. That same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not valid on Bybit because this wicked all the way down, to here. So where we are at right now. So okay, before we get into that, I've been watching this analysis for weeks, a very maybe almost well over a month at this point, like 6 weeks, where I was looking at this head and shoulder pattern where I thought we'd kind of get something like this, get people super bearish, kind of deviate back into the range here, take out these lows, etc. Okay, so far so good. Now, in my opinion, I do believe that, price going into like the second week of October, we can start to look sort of in this zone here, this 28 to 29 zone. That said, price has reached what is, in my opinion, its very first area of key resistance, right? And that would be, this H4 order block that is, right here. So we can see that we're rejecting from that H4 order block. We also have this, basically our trend line along the way down here. We are also meeting that there as well. So in my opinion, this is kind of our first area of resistance, all right? And I think that here, if we were going to see a pullback, and I don't think that it's going to be like, to new lows per se. I really don't. I do think that there's more juice in the tank for BTC. I do think that it goes higher. But let's say that we do get a pullback here. I would look to really just sweep some of these lows, right? If we did reject from here, maybe push one more time, kind of come down like this, sweep here, go like this, and round out and kind of come down here, to which then I would look for another push higher. Okay. So this, generally speaking, is where, when I see current analysis, this is sort of where I see us at right now. Or otherwise, price just continues higher. This for me is a really key zone that if we break through this, we're not going to stop here, I don't think. In my opinion, we would probably go quite a bit higher, maybe towards this daily, or somewhere in this zone we can start looking for a lower time frame setup. But, right now, this is a really key area of resistance for me. We have a very easy invalidation. I think that, we could get one more push. And then from there, I think it makes sense to look for some kind of a setup for price to come down. And we can, look at what that really looks like, right, on our lower time frames on our main chart. Okay. So that's what's going on right now. Still generally looking higher, right? But we are at a first area of resistance where we could see a pullback that we might actually want to long, okay? Oh, here, let me pull this up here. I have the chat up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the YouTube chat. This. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions on the feel free to ask in the YouTube chat and I'll go ahead and answer them for you. All right, so let's go to our primary chart and we'll start doing some updates. Actually, before we do that, one thing I do want to point out, I don't know if anybody remembers this analysis, but I'm actually pretty pissed off at myself for missing this. Boy, I literally drew this out, you know, when price was actually trading back here or somewhere over here. I mean, I drew this out so long ago. I mean, weeks ago. And I said, yeah, our options are we're going to get a sweep of this low and then we'll reclaim and we'll go higher, or we don't really sweep it, we back test and we get a move down. And you can see that this sweep just played out perfectly, and I am you know, I'm a little salty. I must not have been paying attention, and you know, same goes with BTC. It was a really clean long setup. And you know, I was just so confident that we were going lower that I wasn't even paying attention to the chart to look for the setup that I myself was prepared for. You know, I just totally missed it. So it's an unfortunate thing, but you know, that is what it is. I do think that this has potential to go higher in line with BTC as well. Yeah, we'll take a look at the heat map at some point here on BTC as we do our analysis. Give me just a minute. I'm actually just gonna go real quick. You know, very quickly too, before we dive into the primary aspect of our analysis, which of course is BTC, I do want to take a look with you guys at the pound. So I think there's some interesting stuff going on with the pound here. I've worked my average down a little bit since my post. I think that there's pretty clear invalidation. You can see that prices, whoops. Back testing here. But we have this really nice, you know, we have this really nice falling wedge inside a much larger falling wedge. I think it's some really nice confluence. I do think that we're gonna fill up to the top of this wedge here, which is in line with the target here. So I do think we'll get this nice kind of move to the upside here, tap the top of this wedge, and then sort of play from there on whether or not it wants to break out and have continuation to the upside. Now, here's the reason why I want to point this out to you and what makes this such like a really nice level is, oh, too, and we have this nice monthly here as well. We have a weekly right below us, so we could tap the weekly. We'd start to get a little bit messy. Yeah, we do have some key levels below us, but it could get a little messy if price starts to go down there. So I do like this setup. I am long here on this. I'm going to just trade it to the top of the wedge here, which is also the 0.5 fib, which is the primary target of the smaller wedge. Now, what makes this really nice is if we go over to DXY, same, let's go to our 4-hour time frame. See, we have this really nice rising wedge on DXY as well that, you know, kind of works in tandem with this really nice falling wedge on the pound versus dollar, right? So when you have like a nice setup like this and some good confluence, to me this is worthwhile on the trade. Now, again, you know, there are some like really nice horizontal levels on on the pound, just slightly lower from where we are and slightly lower than where our stop loss is. And when I look at DXY, I know it loves to just do this absolute bullshit where it will get some like random wick like this, and then it'll get its move down. But first, it just wants to absolutely annihilate anybody who decided to short first, right? Plus, we have the FOMC meeting coming up, which, we can expect a lot of volatility with, especially on these pairs like DXY and the pound. So I'm definitely, I'm a little bit hesitant, and God's honest truth is I would prefer to be out of my position before Wednesday afternoon, the FOMC announcement. That said, it's encouraging to see kind of a setup like this going into the FOMC. It honest to God could just be that we do get that sort of wick to the upside, and then it finally does break down towards a primary target here. But if you are trading Forex, more specifically, if you're looking to position yourself with the pound, just like I am, keeping an eye on DXY right here, I think is really, really nice. This is a textbook wedge, and it's struggling to hold sort of the upper band of the bullish momentum area on RSI, right? So this is altogether, I do think it's a pretty nice opportunity here. Of course, we do want to see some kind of a play out, and it does look like, for me, I was hoping to see the pound hold here a little bit better and start to get some kind of a move up right away. We had this move up, but then we followed with this massive rejection. It's not really something I like to see, but this was really nice buying power, right? This 1, 2, 3 here on the 30-minute time frame for a push up was really, really nice. And I was more or less hoping to see, a 618 back test with some buying power show up here. No one really showed up to buy, and that's partially a little bit of a concern for me. But at the very least, we are back testing sort of the inside of this wedge and maybe putting in some degree of like a double bottom. So I can see still the opportunity here, but this is just a little, I don't know. It's not really what you want to see after a breakout like this, right? You don't really want to see this kind of weakness, but it can be an opportunity, if it does work to bait shorts and that rising wedge on DXY does start to play out. So I decided to take the risk on it. That said, if we do, let's say, see some more downside here and we sweep this low, let's say we take out our stop, I might actually look to long my stop if we do see a really good, like say like a swing failure pattern or something like that. Just because, like I said, just because there is, in my opinion, opportunity here. There is kind of a nice setup for an opportunity here. So, when you have edge in the market, when you see something favoring, not only across just the one asset you're looking at, but across multiple assets, have that kind of confluence, it's sort of just hard to ignore. So, yeah, all right, cool. And, being the week of the FOMC, I'm not going to go crazy on volume. I'm not going to like, oh, here, yeah, GBP USD. I'm not going to go crazy, with my size ahead of the FOMC meeting. I'm just going to kind of chill out and take a couple bucks, take some trades if I can. All right, cool. So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and dive into our primary chart here on BTC. Go ahead and set this up. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just kind of get rid of all this here, and I want to clean it up, and I want to start with a fresh chart and kind of go through everything. All right. Okay. Down. Boy, would you look at that, huh? All of our previous levels are up to date, start to be relevant. Low. Low. High. There. Okay. 2400. All right, so we're just above the val, holding a support. The previous month point of control lines up with a key daily level up there. Really, this is really nice, actually. As a matter of fact, I would yeah, I like that. Okay. So these are our previous month levels. I'm going to hang on to a couple of the monthly open, actually not a bad spot for a back test if we get a pullback here. Okay. Pull up our previous week. Yeah, we've already swept the previous. We're already above the previous week high, right? Okay. Open. Low. Okay. Opportunity to put in a new daily level. Can you guys not? Can you guys hear me? Okay. So someone said there's a mic issue. 143. So it's not working properly. Okay, let me look here. I don't know, maybe that'll help. Well, let me know. I guess I'll just keep an eye on the. Okay, so there's a daily. We have our other daily up here. 707. Boom, boom. Let's check out our weekly levels. All right, we have a weekly here. And we have a weekly above us. And this is 25,882, 822. Pop this on here. Let's throw this in our weekly. Week 25. We don't need that anymore. I'll keep that for now. But then we also have this weekly here. I'm going to clone this. Oops. And drop this here. And that's 29,200, which we know has been a really key spot. That 29,200 zone has been very key. Okay, drop that in there. Let's take a look at monthly. And we do have a monthly level up there, but I don't really give a shit about that monthly level. Okay, let's take a look at some of our other levels. Local lines. Nothing really. Yeah, I see that this area could be, yep, lines up with the second week of October, just like what I was thinking. Yeah, this area is getting more and more interesting to me. Okay, this is of interest. 31 zone. Okay. Yeah, all right, so this is really what we want to be seeing here. So let's go ahead and add this. So this will be plus PM POC plus range va. Okay. Here plus range POC. And here we go, plus range val. So really nice confluence here, right, on these levels already. So I'm gonna hide this one. It's not really of great interest to me right now, but these three are of great interest to me. Yeah, I must be just talking quiet sometimes, and then it's like you said, I have a noise gate. It's just kicking in sometimes. So I'll try to speak a little bit louder. Okay, so this looks really good. I genuinely like to see this. So yeah, this is nice. What are these? Not important. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, I think this line is going to be... Okay, so we're right at that resistance there. Yeah, look at that, guys. I mean, look how well this macro channel is respected. You know, bounce right off the midline there for a move up. Looks really clean. Is GBT, is it raging right now? Let's go. Oh shit. Oh, Brown, I'm so happy you said something. Let's fucking go. Let it just keep ripping, please, bud. What's DXY doing? Yeah. Take a nap, bud. Oh man. All right, cool. All right, anyway, back to business. Okay, so yeah, we had this really nice trend line here. Let's take a look. So yeah, this macro sideways channel, really well respected, playing out very nicely so far. Macro upper. So this is our upper channel, right, that we've been trading in for some time. Again, this looks very good. This looks very good. Okay, local down. So if you guys recall, we used this channel during the grayscale news as an area for resistance, right? So we did get that really nice rejection there. This my point is that this was a really nice area of confluence for us using this channel, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just hide that for now though. Let's look at our other ones here. 30-week local upwards, nothing really there. 31K out, nothing there. Fib, nope, not really relevant. 24K range, 23, 20, okay. So we're gonna drop this key local line into our one of our folders here. Okay, so this looks nice. All right, and then let's take a look. What else do we want to look at here? We have this really nice order block. I have to get that drawn out here. This H4 order block. H4. Okay, so yeah, there really is a lot of nice confluence here. And I think it, you know, like let's say if we did, so like what would this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say, and then we would have A, B, C. A is typically a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like let's say that we did do something like, you know, theoretically we did go 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4, 5. You know, 5, something like this. 3, maybe 4. Or if this took a while, nah, it probably won't. Oh. Yeah, you know, maybe doing something like that where, and this is exactly what I drew out, by the way. Where is it? Don't fucking tell me I deleted it. Oh, here it is. You know, this is pretty much what I drew out, looking for a retracement, right? 2, 3. Well, I guess I didn't draw this out really clean, but you get the idea. Kind of getting this move up into here, some kind of a back test. Yeah, kind of struggle here a little bit, but inevitably break straight through. Don't even do a sweep of this, okay? Because everybody's like, yeah, we're gonna sweep this high and then get a move down. Okay, don't buy that. I think we would actually break straight through it and sort of get this move straight to that area. So, you know, doing something like this where we, whatever, down. Here. You know, and then sort of drop down from there. Like doing something like this would make the most amount of sense to me as a setup. And again, this would give us our, what are we looking for? The head and shoulders fake out thing that we want to do, right? To get people really bearish. Yeah, so I like this setup. Again, you know, I mean, and we can look at like some behind the scenes kind of stuff, but let's actually, I just want to like double pull up some things and just double check here, be sure I have all this where I want it to be. Previous month point of control. Yep. Okay, previous month point of control right on top of there. This is also the monthly open. Wow, look at that. Plus open. And you want to know what else it is? It is also, just by looking at it, I'm pretty sure it's the 618 of the current move. Yep, right on top of the 618. Beautiful. So yeah, this is a really nice source of confluence for me for a potential pullback from here. And in addition, I drew this out earlier and shared it with the group. We have this really nice cipher harmonic here, okay? Uh, it hasn't quite reached its primary D wave, so I would expect it to go just a pinch higher. So like one more sweep of the high maybe. It doesn't have to, but you know, one more sweep of the high, and you could really get a nice setup to kind of do something like this. Stop loss above X there, and go ahead and trade it back down to, you know, this zone here for then a potential long opportunity. Right, so right now for me, this is kind of like what I'm looking for, and you can even, if you really wanted to, you could probably dial this in a little bit even. But if you wanted to play it really safe, you could have your stop loss up here, but you could dial it in by having it just above that daily. And what we would do is we would look for, you know, just one more sweep of the high potentially, maybe tomorrow, right? Let's put in a small little range here, sweep the high tomorrow and then dump it. Get the move back down here. Look for a long opportunity. Kind of doing something like this. Right? And I would say that these would be my two setups for the next 4 weeks on BTC. These would be my next, you know, 4 to 6 week. Well, no, 4 weeks. This would be my setup for the next 4 weeks and what I would be looking for an opportunity right now, swing opportunities. Okay, so these are obviously subject to change. We have to kind of take it day by day and see what other opportunities arise throughout all of this. You know, we need the chart to give us maybe a little bit more information to be sure that this is what we're looking for. But right now, I think that this is really nice. We have this, you know, cipher harmonic here, this H4 order block. We have this nice trend line that it's rejecting from. We have this daily and range point of control just above us as another form of resistance for confluence there. We had a lot of longs opening up into this, but I do think that, you know, funding rates are negative, and I do think that a lot of people are heavily shorting this move. I think that they get squeezed out first with a potential sweep of this current high. And then, you know, maybe we can look for some kind of a short opportunity a little bit closer to the 786 of this move, which is, you know, kind of closer to that 27,600 zone, where we look for maybe a little bit more of a short opportunity with our stop above X here. Trade that down to the weekly, which is also the range val, the monthly open, and the 618. With that level there, you know, at that point, I would really be looking for some kind of a long opportunity to trade it back up to, you know, the weekly, this untapped weekly, the previous month point of control, as well as the range value area high at about, you know, 29,300 zone. So right now, these are, like I said, these are my two swing setups, I would say, over the next 4 weeks that I'll be looking for. I'll continue to update these setups as the charts give us more information, but really it's all playing into this macro idea that I have here, right? Where we do kind of get this move up to, you know, this is invalid. This didn't happen right now, right? You know, pull back and then a move up to this 29, 200, 300, 400 zone for, you know, a kind of a deviation of this level here for then a move down, right? A continued move to the downside, maybe around 22. So I think that that's about it. Let's see if we have any questions. Oh, someone's pointing out some higher time frame trend line. If you draw it to 31.8 to the top, yeah, that falls in line. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't think I go too crazy over that, to be honest with you. I think this local one does enough of the job than you would need. I don't think you have to really eye that much higher time frame one. I think that I personally, I just prefer this here. I think that this is fine. And even this second one I just drew here, where, you know, I draw it from, what the hell is going on here? Okay. This second one that I drew actually from the top here. Let's go ahead and just line it up a little bit. There we go. Versus, you know, this one I drew to this one. Go go down to a lower time frame. Let's go even lower. And I will clean this up just a pinch for you. We know that this OB is here, so we don't really need to pay attention to it. 786 is right around here. So, you know, maybe fuck about sweep maybe up to here. That seems a little aggressive, but maybe. And then, you know, look for our move down. Or maybe it takes a little bit longer, like what day is Wednesday? So here. Yeah, it'd still be a little bit high. But yeah, I think that these are all the really key levels right now to have on your charts. 29.3 zone and 25.8 zone. Two of the most key levels on the chart today, right? From what I can tell, these are our most key levels on the chart today that you're going to want to keep an eye on, all right? So I think that about wraps up our BTC analysis for today. Now, what I would recommend doing is waiting until tomorrow to take a short trade, because I do think that there's a really high possibility that we'll sweep this current high at least a little bit, right? Maybe to the 786, which is about 27,500 zone, where we can then look for a little bit more of a short opportunity on lower time frames, and then we could look to trade that back down. And we have clear invalidation, which is X here, right? We don't want to see price go above this level. So that should be that on that. Right now, I don't really have a whole lot else that I'm watching. This played out beautifully. I'm actually a little salty because you know, I was watching this falling wedge here, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for a sweep of Monday low, and this is like last week's Monday low or the one before that, whatever. And we never got that sweep. But we certainly did get the rest of my plan, right? Playing out to a T, just beautifully getting this move up out of this wedge, right? And this kind of zone is my primary target, and I have some alerts set over here to, once we sweep these highs, if price does get up there, that's kind of when I'll be looking for a short opportunity. But right now, I would not be shorting Sol. I would be letting Sol do its thing for the time being. Link did not really get that move down that I was looking for, and it's already just making a run for the mid-range of this macro channel, right? So again, that just is what it is. I'm just gonna have to sit this one out and wait for a new opportunity, and I'll do some analysis, you know, following up with a lot of this stuff here. But yeah, right now I really don't have a whole lot on this stuff. So I will take some time to do some analysis on these things, and I will share them in the Discord. And if you guys have any questions, do feel free to ask. It's going to be, you know, in the Discord with the link tree here that I posted. And someone asked about the heat map. We will go ahead and just take a look at that. So we know our key levels here that we're watching on BTC. Let's go ahead and take a look at the heat map as well as the liquidation map for you guys. I know everybody does like to see this. So we're sitting at about 5 billion in positive delta. So we really got a lot of time to reset with the consolidation that we did over the last week here. Taking a look, lower time frame. See, look at all these shorts eagerly hopping in, right? So these are the guys that I think are likely going to be getting wrecked here. But you can see what's really interesting is this whole move up, these 100x longers here, all in these yellow bubbles. None of them got rocked at all up until just this morning, where, you know, this guy here got taken out. I would like to see, of course, that move down eventually. But first, all of these shorters that were hopping in here, if we just go ahead and take a look at funding rates, you know, you can see that, you know, you can see funding rates are negative, right? Not crazy, but enough where I could just see one more push up, right? Just kind of get rid of those early shorters and then kind of look for a move down. Let's start with our 7-day here. So we did get our liquidity for the most part. Look at this though. We do have a little bit more above us, right around that 27,500 level, which is the 786, which completes the cipher harmonic and gives us the short opportunity, the local short opportunity that we're looking to trade down to what level? 25.6 zone, right? So let's look at this. We're looking to enter, we set at the 27.5, right, which was a liquidity area. And 26 and 25.6 was the area, so a little bit lower than this weekly, which is actually, I believe, around the 6.6, the 6.5, right? So those two things of confluence just on our 7-day heat map already really aligned well with our analysis. Okay, so that's great. That's the kind of confluence we want to see. Looking at the monthly here, we can see a couple of the largest areas of liquidity. Yeah, that 28,600 level, right? 28,500 level is kind of our largest there on the monthly. Let's take a look at where that is. Yeah, so just above this high. Personally, again, I don't think we'll stop there. I think it would get a push a little bit higher. You know, but again, that's analysis for days out, so we'll just kind of have to take it day by day and see what we get. Still looking 3 months back, our primary zone, and it's not even close, is you know, the 23,400, 23,500, 23,600 zone down here that I do eventually think that we're going to get a move to. Okay. So, all right, cool. I think that hey, bro, can you share the BTC screenshot at Discord? Yeah. I'll share all this in the Discord, of course. So, all right, cool. Well, I would say this is our analysis for the week, and these are the things that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Like I said, as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord. It should be an exciting week. I encourage you to be safe in your trading. With the FOMC coming up, there's no doubt that we'll see a great deal of volatility in CHOP. Okay. All right, well, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to doing some more analysis with you later in the week. And of course, we'll have our office hours on Friday. This last week's was a lot of fun, so I am looking forward to that again. I'll keep you guys updated as we need to, as the charts continue to give us more information. Again, enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you guys, as always, for joining me for today's live stream.